Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another match of the Sevens, and this one is a big one, the semi-final and a rematch of the gold medal matchup between France and New Zealand. Hope you guys are all doing well. We're nice and early in the morning here in New Zealand, 8:46 a.m. I did watch the semi-final, or sorry, the quarter-final, in fact, it was between New Zealand and Canada, in which they were victorious in that one. And then for the other side of things, it was the Fijians who did end up losing to France. I hope you guys are all doing well. Nob Mum is here in the chat. David the Mod is here. And you mate Joy, hope you guys are all doing well. 4:45 a.m. in Malaysia at the moment. So it is a nice early morning start for yourself as well. But in this lineup for New Zealand, Sarah Hironi, Teresa Fitzpatrick, Saili, Michaela Blyde, who has been absolutely sensational as always, Kaylee Brazier, Tyler Nathan Wong, and Stacey Fleuler. Then their opponents for this one, there is no, I believe it was, what's her name? Silfani. She is not actually here, unfortunately, due to injury. Grassano is there, though. Chloe Pell, then Bertrand, alongside her, Isa Uteli, or Uluteli, sorry, and then Nielsen and Okemba. And also, I can't watch in the UK on World Rugby YouTube channel, says Gregor Galway. Have you got a VPN, Gregor? Because if you have, you can actually set your location to somewhere else, and then they will have it on World Rugby's YouTube channel. For some reason, it's just if you've got another subscription-based option, they don't allow you to see it for free, sadly, which sucks, because I feel like the more eyes on this game, the better. Currently, looks like it's going to be the US who are going to be able to beat the Spanish in their game at 17-0 currently, the way that it is sitting. Also, Fiji losing to Canada was another big upset, unfortunately. Well, then Chris Thomas, she's put that one down, and that will be the end of that game between the USA and Spain. So USA will go on to face, I believe it is Ireland. No, Ireland are through to the semi-finals. What am I on about? Ireland, who were they playing in their semi-final matchup? That was the US. So that's that side of things. Who are they playing in the third and fourth place? Oh, Canada, the team who are literally hosting the Sevens in Langford for this matchup. But currently now the semi-final is about to be upon us. Looking off the bench, Kaka, she has been very good for the Kiwis. And also having Portia Woodman, who has scored a huge amount of tries in the past. But this is the first of the semi-finals, France versus New Zealand. The second semi-final will be taking place between Ireland and Australia. We have also got their big love come on, the Black Ferns. Here's Sebastian, and yeah, currently, that's the thing. It feels like it's like even earlier than 8:48 for some reason here in New Zealand. I don't know why, but it looks like, I mean, it's a decent day. The sun's actually almost shining in. You can see my face looking, I guess, more pale than ever in a way. But these two sides, each time they've played off, it's normally a close fixture. And good morning, evening, afternoon, everyone. Don't know what time your side. What are your thoughts on the Tars upset in the Satyrs? It was a good game of rugby. The Satyrs, unfortunately for them, just never quite looked like the ball was going to stick to their hands. And every time that they dropped it, the Waratahs just built up a little bit more momentum, and they just played brilliantly. And I'm glad that Australian sides did so well in that round, because it's been closer than ever now in Super Rugby, and I hope it stays that way. And also we have the Ireland versus Australia, who wins. I think Australia will be able to take that one. My hopes is a New Zealand versus Australia final. Deep down, if I was to be just a second of partialness. But overall, it's going to be a very tough game for New Zealand in this one, up against France and Sebastian. And also we've got Katie Dixon. It says, hey, howdy, hey, y'all. I think my tongue's grown overnight. Doesn't seem like it's quite working my throat. It's been better in terms of sound, but it's not terrible at the moment, which is good news. But our final is going to be coming to you guys from about 3 hours' time. Charge of this one, it is Iki Fanlo, the Spanish referee. And I've just heard the commentator say this is going to be an absolute banger. So that, I'll take her word for it. And at the moment, Portia Woodman, she will be coming off the bench in the later stages, and she is an absolute banger when she does come out on the field. She scores a lot of tries. And also, we've got their big love, David. Katie, everyone who's tuned in sees Sebastian and A brother says Katie Dixon, but now it is going to be kicked off for this first half of rugby between France and New Zealand. Tyler Nathan Wong will be getting us underway for the first semi-final. I'm excited for this match. I'm actually a little bit nervous for the Black Ferns, I'll be honest. I think this game is probably going to be their toughest up to date. Even though they had that draw with Fiji, it's still going to be very tricky. And at this matchup up against France, we have got hi guys from Obi Snake as well, and also 100% agreed, Hamish. I will come back to that in a very short moment. But now New Zealand, it is going to be passed off to the right-hand side, so they have been able to retain their kickoff, which is very useful in the game of sevens. Flula passes it off to Teresa Fitzpatrick, who has to retreat before going forward. It's a good tackle on her by Okimba, and also Nason now passing it across the ways. Tyler Nathan Wong, she's going to try and back her pace, but Krasano has been able to cut her off. New Zealand have gone back about 30 metres since the start of this game in their attacking play, and it's been less than a minute. And also, let's eat into there, says Obi Snake. As soon as it's all let's eat, I just thought of breakfast, and that's coming up very soon. Nice run down the wing, and it's going to be Sailey. Beautiful step, and she will have the pace to go in New Zealand going to score the first try of the match. Morning, man, Katie Dixon. Hope you're well, buddy. And also, we've got that Sebastian, how about that? Queens versus Saints game. I was curled up in fetal position, says Katie Dixon. And also, I think NZ, you dropped the ball a bit, keeping Posy, but hopefully the Sadist loss wakes them up. But Ireland are coming, and they're not coming to lose. South Africa, in South Africa, are dangerous, says Cameron. Exactly right. Like, that's the thing. The URC, I feel, is whoever's got home ground advantage will win the matches. So everyone wants that number one spot, which is why Leinster sacrificed that win up against, or the chance at a draw up against the Stormers last night, because they were like, you know what? We would rather have a home field advantage than to risk losing that for this matchup. And also, I was Katie in fairness. I'm glad even when we lose, we get 2 points, says Sebastian. And also, come on, you Quins. And also, New Zealand, try. Like I says, Obi there as well. But Tyler Nathan Wong about to kick this one off. That one was converted by New Zealand 2 minutes into this game, and they have got themselves a lead. Okemba taking it very nicely in the air. And now France have got a little bit of the possession. They'll be a bit upset not having Silvani for this match. Hey, yelp, says Katie. That's the thing, though. The Harlequins, anytime they do lose, like you said, they get 2 points because they score that many tries anyway. Like, they get the bonus point for scoring 4, and then they get the bonus point for being within 7, which in some, like, a lot of teams would take that. That's a nice ball for France, and now it's going to be a foot race, and it looks like it's going to be won by France. Berenice trying to catch her, but Chloe Bell going to have too much pace, and they've gone the length of the field, France, and they score it. And that is going to now be France back in the game. And funny, you should mention breakfast because, as usual, I'm hungry, says David. What is on the menu for breakfast today, David? Do let me know. That's the thing. I feel like I'm in a very hyper mood for some reason today, even though, like, I went to sleep at like 1, woke up at 5, got up, worked out who was winning the matches, because I was going to do the commentary at 5, but my eyes were half asleep. So I thought, right, I'm better off watching these and then setting up the thumbnails for the semi-finals. I went back to sleep for about an hour, and now I'm here. It also Saints observe that when it was so emotional, I was sobbing the whole time. I just wanted it to end, says Katie Dixon. And also London Irish with a 5th draw this season, simply mental. How do I do it? Like, it's almost an art form how skilled they are at drawing games, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost more impressive than not impressive for that one. I'm watching the Watts Irish game now. I'm 66 minutes in, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got their porridge, mate, says it was a David the Mod. I've had oats, but I haven't had porridge. Maybe something to get into. Is it like, what's the best combo? Is it a bit of cinnamon and sugar and whatnot with the porridge, or is it just straight porridge that you have? Because you have porridge warm, don't you? If I've learned anything from Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, or kind of the just right, not too hot, not too cold, somewhere in the middle. A little mistake from New Zealand, and now France are going to have themselves the scrum feed here just outside of the 22. Now, Nathan, it looks like a better day today than it was yesterday in Langford, because yesterday it was pouring down. That's going to be now front row reset. And also, that's not how you make porridge. And it is, says Obi Snake. Are you telling me that nursery rhymes are lying to me? Or maybe the part about the cinnamon and stuff. I think that goes on oats, isn't it? Having a bit of cinnamon. And then also, I would say that has to be the best premiership game we've seen this season in terms of the drama. That's going to be a free kick to France now. And they are just outside of the 22 now, attacking the line. Little kick in behind. It's beautifully done. And France are chasing. Oh, it's close to a try. I think she might have gotten that one almost down there. Yulul Tule. She will have to see this one on the big screen. Same with the referee. He's going, I have no idea if that one was down or not. I was behind. They were too quick. Right. France, this is looking like she's got plenty of time. Oh, no, Brazier's done it. Brazier's just got that one down. She needed to. And Honey and a tad of cream. And there says David the Mod. Oh, there's that awful feedback coming through the microphone. No try. It's going to be a 22 dropout now. For some reason, I just imagine just like putting a gloop of honey in the middle and then just well and truly, you know, one of those whipped cream like spray bottles, just all over the top. There you go. That's your breakfast. Porridge, cream, brown sugar, and a knob of butter. And there says Obi. See, I've never really been a hot breakfast kind of guy. Like, I had toast like twice in the past, but like, I used to be like a Wheat Bix or a cornflakes, Cocoa Pops, any cereal, Nutri-Grain, and a bit of that. And also, way back in the day, I had the Fruit Loop ones, but not the Fruit Loops with milk. Used to just have them plain. That's going to be a great run, Grassino. She's going in now. And that will be the try for France. And also, there, I just add hot water to the porridge, and on the weekend, a drizzle of rum. That'd be an interesting combo, would it? See, that's the thing. What is porridge? When you think about it, is it oats or is it not oats? I don't know what porridge is. I saw these French girls on TV. They're formidable. And there says David the Mod. They certainly are. And they are going to be a very tough side to beat. And Lopez. And there says Obi, and also come on, New Zealand says, no, Mum, this is going to be a tough game. It was the game out of all of them that I was most nervous for. France have been able to convert it. I guess if they do win this game, France, it does mean that I probably will stay up. Whereas if France do end up losing this game and New Zealand win, I'll probably go back to sleep after that Ireland versus Australia game for a couple more hours and then wake back up after that. It's going to be kicked towards the Dutch line, not quite finding it now. 30 seconds left in this game. Or for the half, I should mention, and now Fitzpatrick trying to find a little backline movement. Michaela Blythe, you've got to unleash her. Unfortunately, though, she has been held on to. Brilliant tackle from, I believe that was Chloe Pell. Was able to make the tackle there, but New Zealand, they've got 10 seconds to work in this first half now. And also go Black Ferns. Our reply says MH Choi. They are currently trying to do so. They are only a few meters out from their line, but Tyler Nathan Wong with a nice bit of a step trying to link up with the play on the outside. Sarah Hirni. Now one more ball off into the hands of Portia Woodman, and the fact that they have subbed her on this early tells you exactly what you need to know, and that is that New Zealand are feeling the pressure, but that is going to be knocked on. Half-time, change sides in a very short moment, but that is going to be 14 points to France and 7 points to New Zealand at half-time. In fact, no, we've still got time for one more scrum, and New Zealand have been able to turn that one over in the scrum. I thought that would have been actually enough time. It's a penalty to New Zealand, so they got one more attacking chance. It could be possibly back to square. Come on, France. Upset the Kiwi, says Craig. Now it's going to be passed across. Although that's the thing. I feel like France would have been very close in the odds for this matchup with the form that they have been able to find. I just heard a child say, come on, New Zealand, and now my heart is melting just a little bit. Now Michaela Blythe driven backwards, trying to get over the ball for France. They do have to release it now. Teresa Fitzpatrick. And you have to wonder which side has got more stamina, because this game looks like it's going to be going long. Tyler Nathan Wong now off into the hands of Kelly Brazier. They do need to clean out from Portia Woodman. It's another penalty. And that was against Nielsen. Now Portia Woodman takes the quick tap. One of the leading try scorers, or the leading try scorer for New Zealand, tried to throw it off Stacey Flula. It's a little knock on from France, so it could have almost been a runaway. And that is going to be half-time now between these two sides. And also, as 18 Black Ferns the best, this is MH Joy there, but currently a half-time, 14 points to France and 7 to New Zealand. So it does seem at this stage that momentum is certainly going to have to shift in the second half if New Zealand want to be able to upset and go on to face off against their Trans-Tasman rivals, Australia, which is always an exciting game. But Australia, they have looked dominant in their game up against Spain in the quarterfinals. They went on to win about 55-0. Which is a pretty good score, really. That's about what you want. And come on, Kiwis, let's get it done for Dakota Kai. And there's Sebastian. Yeah. What happened there, eh? Why did they get rid of the one Kiwi we got? Have we got any other Kiwis? I know they kept Grayson Waller, but they decided that they would get rid of the Kiwi. No one will know what we're talking about for that one. But now currently, although to be fair, they did get rid of one of the females who were Australian. So I guess there's that as well. But currently, Michaela Blythe just doing up the hair. She's going to have to make sure she is going to pin the ears back in that second half. And I think they just need to try and find the ball in their hands. And as Kiwi, I'm always wary of the French. Yeah, they're just the side that you cannot underestimate, because anytime these two sides play off, like it was the gold medal final of the Tokyo Olympics, New Zealand, they were able to get themselves a win there. But it's going to be interesting to see how the second half does go. But sevens is a wonderful thing. 7 minutes of all-out pace, all-out action. The next game we are covering is going to be between Ireland and also Australia. And also Australia have to beat the Irish in the other semi. I tell you, supporting the Aussie team going to beat the Irish, says Craig. They should win. They should win. They're in very good form. Australia, for me, are the team to beat in this competition. And also we have the Black Ferns were absent in the earlier sevens. Says MH Choi, they certainly were. So they have now come back on the scenes 11 minutes away from Ireland versus Australia taking place by Michaela Blythe. She's going to be ready to go for the second half. She hasn't really had a huge amount of space to be able to really create what she normally does. Michaela Blythe is about to be kicked off by, I believe that is going to be the number 11. Now giving it deep into the hands of Michaela Blythe, running backwards now inside of their own 22. New Zealand going to be trying to use this backline. Tyler Nathan Wong, attack and run, gives it off to Sarah Hirini. There's a bit of a juggle of the ball. It's a penalty, double blow of the whistle, high tackle. And almost the way the referee was blowing that whistle, I thought there might have been a yellow card coming out. Come on, Aussie. And there says Craig. Now, Sarah Hirini, she was near the top of the shoulder. That was probably a harsh one against France. I called it as if it was like the dressing that goes on a salad. But now Tyler Nathan Wong, nice cutout pass off to Michaela Blythe. Now it's a foot race, and this lady will just keep on running and running and running. But they've done extremely well to cut her off, and she goes in for a little bit more extra angle. This will still be a tough kick though, but it has meant that they have been able to score themselves their first try of the second half. New Zealand, we stream sevens in France. Says Xavier, we certainly will be, and we will be able to cover a lot more of that series in France than we did probably for the last couple, because time zones, I mean, the French time zone, it's not the best, but it also isn't the worst for us. So we should be able to fit in a little bit more of the sevens, but it is coming up to lose only in about 18 days' time. So when we will be seeing it as Charlotte's country playing next. It certainly is, Sebastian. If you are able to watch the sevens on YouTube, you will get to see some of your idols, I guess we could say there. New Zealand, that kick has gone over. Brilliant kick for New Zealand, and now it makes the score 14-all between these two sides. This game is far from over. Still another 5.5 minutes, but Michaela Blythe currently moving her way up the scoring list of all-time tries. Portia Woodman at the top, clearing it by about 45 or so. Is very impressive. Now going up in the air, not quite taken cleanly by Portia Woodman, but Unkemba has been able to take it very nicely. It's a penalty in favour of France. They did try and take the tap, but they weren't quite on the mark. And also, what channel is this on, says Paul? Depending on what country you're in, if you're in New Zealand, it is on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. In Australia, I believe it's on KO or Stan. And then also it's on the World Rugby YouTube channel if you are in certain countries. If you've got a VPN, you're all sweet to be able to watch it. But I believe after the day is finished, the replay will be up on World Rugby's YouTube channel as well. Quarterfinals for Super Rugby is in like 4 or 3 weeks. Says Max, it certainly is. We're getting closer and closer, but it should still be not too bad in terms of linking up with the sevens. But nice tackle there. It's a penalty now for a high tackle in favour of France. They want to take the quick tap, and they will keep this game played at a high intensity. Try and wear down the Black Ferns. Rush defence not quite working out there for young Hotham, who's only recently come into the Black Ferns side. She's trying to get that ball back in the breakdown. Is unable to do so. I'm here. And there says Alaskan Lion. Also, we as Kiwis like Charlotte a lot. And then that ball's been dropped by Grassino, but it did end up going backwards there. Now past across. Going to be the one-on-one tackles that are so important for New Zealand in the middle stages. That's a knock-on from France. And on the halfway line, they will have a chance. And I think I've got COVID as well. Says Max, have you done a test or anything along those lines? But be sure, if you do think you have got it, be sure to follow all of the rules. And also, we have got there, where can I watch the match live? World Rugby YouTube channel if you are in certain countries, but do let me know what country you're in, and I will tell you the, I guess, option to be able to watch it for yourself. Some countries, it is free. Other countries, unfortunately, it is not, which kind of sucks. I feel like if it's free for one, it should be free for all, just so that everyone can watch it as well. Now, Tyler Nathan Wong out to feed this ball in for the Kiwis, sitting currently 3 minutes 40 left. That's a tough scrum. It's a loose one as well. It does pop out the bag, but it's popped out beautifully for Tyler Nathan Wong. She's going to be back in her place. She's going to get chased down by Grassa. No, puts in the grubber. She got too much on it, and she felt she was going to be caught, so she tried to take the risk. And also, we have got there, what countries is it free in YouTube, I believe. One that I definitely know is free, I think it's Romania, isn't it, Sebastian? It is on the World Rugby YouTube channel. But if you can't get it on the World Rugby YouTube channel, I believe you can actually get it on their website, World Rugby, for the sevens, the HSBC sevens. And but there is quite a big list of the countries that do have it free, but it's pretty much anywhere that doesn't have a subscription-based like service. So pretty much in New Zealand, we don't have it because of Sky. In Australia, they don't have it because of KO. Or actually, they might have it in Australia, though. Michaela Blige, she goes in. Oh, Kimber's been tripped by her teammate. And New Zealand score again. And that might have booked them closer and closer to that final. And also, Black Ferns goes to mate in South Africa. Says Lottie Smith, it is currently late night over there. So I do appreciate you being there, mate. Or being here for the live stream. And also just got off the holidays. And okay, David says it was. And there says Max, and also Cho Cho New Zealand, says Sebastian there as well. But it was a good drive from Michaela Blige. And she starts running. She gets quite scary looking. Michaela Blige, she all of a sudden, I mean, she seems like a relatively serious person anyway. But as soon as she's in motion, she looks like I wouldn't want to try and tackle her. I know a few people in the chat probably would because, although, yeah, nah. There is $80 a month. It was a good thing I'm home alone because I was a little loud there, says Nov Mum. Nothing's free in New Zealand. And also New Zealand, and also Black Ferns beat Aussie in the finals. Here's M.A. Shoy. It's going to be a tricky one, though. And also, it's weird, says Paul there. Yeah, for some reason, they don't let everyone watch it. Was working for me all yesterday on YouTube, but not today, says Paul. Have they done... Is it all? Hang on. It might actually be similar to what we saw one other time, which was they had it all for free on the first day and then they stopped for the second day for some reason, which seems ridiculous because the second day is the one that everyone wants to see because of the finals. Sarah Hinani now trying to step her away. It's a nice wide cutout pass for New Zealand. And also we've got there. What do you think about the French team? They are absolutely sensational and they can beat anyone on any given day. And that's why I always this is the matchup that I feel was the toughest for New Zealand. The final up against Australia, if they do make it Australia, that's going to be tough. And that's the thing, there's still a minute 20 left. New Zealand might not even make it to the final here. But they will want another try very soon. Nice ball on the inside. Good step through. Kaka, ball on the outside right. That will book New Zealand a spot on the final, I would think, because Porty Lane has gone in and scored the try there. Good morning, Kiwi lads. How are you? Did you have a good sleep? Says Ollie. It was short, but I guess you could say short and sweet is the best way I would describe that sleep. Probably much needed as well. I was sitting last night just going, so then I was like, right, should probably sleep soon so that I can slightly wake up. And one more score by the Black Ferns shall seal this match, and it certainly has. And could you do a dream matches again? Says Alaskan Line. We actually did release one of us playing Crusaders Leinster on the Kiwi Lads Extras channel. So be sure to check this out. And also the next game is going to be tough. And there in the Sevens 3 months ago in the final, Australia had to score the winning try in injury to win the final, 17 points to 12. Irish could win. And there says Craig, yeah, that's the thing. Sevens is that unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. And yes, 26 says MH Joy. And also we've got there Sean Sweet like mate. No, it says Sebastian. No, I got nothing. I got nothing at this time in the morning. Now it's going to be taken nicely by France. They've got 2 seconds left, so that will now mean New Zealand is through. I want to cry. We're so unlucky in France, says Luca there. Although the good news is, Luca, home field advantage. To lose in 3 weeks' time, France will be hopefully pretty dominant in that one. But they still, I think they can take third in this competition, France. They always look strong. Black Ferns had consistently beat the Aussies. Bloody, I wake up on Friday. You were on it. And it's a bank holiday Sunday night, and you're here again, legend. Says pleasure. And that is going to be full time, and that will be 26 points to 14. Yeah, we're a little bit earlier today in New Zealand time, but it's good. I've been enjoying the sevens. My voice hasn't, but myself has. But now New Zealand through to the final. They will be facing either Australia or Ireland, and that matchup is taking place right now. So we will be switching over to that live stream, but I will see you all in a very short moment. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.